Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Law Dogs, um, Justice Law, whatever title I'm going to go by. This is the second episode. That's right, the second one. If you missed the first one, well, that's on you. First episode was about love. Today, I wanted to bring it back around to something to do with law enforcement. I wanted to kind of give my input on how, if I was in a certain situation, which I've been in before, on how I would treat a police officer if I was to get pulled over, whether I was breaking the law or not. Um, so, if a cop pulled me over and say he said I ran a stop sign, even if I thought I didn't run a stop sign, I guess the proper way, in my opinion, officers should walk up to the vehicle would be good afternoon or good evening. My name is Officer So and So. I'm stopping you for running the stop sign. And at that point, I may or may not. I mean, you can go by how you feel, how the vibe feels to you, but I would be like, I didn't know I ran that stop sign, officer. And if I did, I apologize. Or you ain't got to say all that, but I didn't know I ran that stop sign. At that point, the officer's probably going to ask for your driver's license, proof of insurance, registration, whatever they ask you, whatever they want to ask you, whatever. So I would then comply. If I have a gun in the vehicle, the first thing we're going to do is let the officer know I have a weapon in the vehicle. And I'm going to tell them where the weapon's at. And if the officer wants me to step out of the vehicle to give them the gun, I will. If they want to, me personally, I don't have nothing to hide, so if they want to come into my vehicle and get the weapon, I'm good with that. I know that you're putting your life on the line, and people are like, he don't have the right to do all this to you, especially if you're not breaking the law. But the way I look at it, say Joe Blow on the street has a gun and he tells you to lay on the ground, you're more than likely going to do it because Joe Blow is probably going to blow your head off if you don't. You know, obviously the officer is not there to rob you or blow your head off till you're on the ground, but nevertheless he has a gun and a badge. You should respect that. They had to go through certain training and a lot of stuff to get that. And I personally believe, not all of us, but the good majority of police officers have a calling, in my opinion. That's just how I feel. I know there is bad cops out there, and I hate that. But nevertheless, in my opinion, it's still best to comply because the guy's got a gun. He's kind of got the drop on you. He's standing up, you're sitting down. I mean, just think about it rationally. There's no reason to get all cocky and be like, you can't do this to me. I have rights, all this and that. Let the judge decide that. Have your phone on record when you get pulled over. Do what you need to do to cover yourself. But in the meanwhile, be respectful. He's another human being. Nobody's perfect. Maybe you didn't run the stop sign. At this point, all he's asking you for is your information. Chances are, more than likely, you're probably going to get a warning anyway. I've heard a lot of cops say they use the probable cause of running the stop sign or whatever it is your infraction is to kind of check you out. If you got warrants or drugs in the car, then that may be a different story. If you're not breaking the law, there's no reason for you to take it up a notch and cause the officer to get all offensive because, once again, they're just a human being like you are. They have anger in them and love just like you and I. So if you trigger that, it could come out. An officer is supposed to hold themselves to a higher standard, and the guys I work with do, but I know there's some that don't. But nevertheless, it is what it is. I just think it's best to comply. And if you get a bad vibe, maybe you should call their department and ask to speak to the supervisor on duty or something of that nature. But for you to just start arguing with the cop about whether you broke the law or not, or whether he's violating your rights, is kind of redundant and, in my opinion, just unnecessary because he's got to drop on you once again. You just got to be smarter than that. And I'm not trying to say that's why a lot of people are getting shot on traffic stops and stuff like that. I know there's a bunch of different factors. I'll say it again. There's crooked cops. I don't want anybody trying to say I'm choosing one side over the other. I personally have been on both sides. I've had a state trooper put a gun to my head and tell me he'd blow my mother effing head off because he said I ran a stop sign. I did not run a stop sign, but he felt as though I did, and used that as just got me out of the car, put a gun in my head, all this and that. I actually had a gun in my car at the time, which I had a permit for, but he didn't even remove the gun, which led me to believe he was under the influence of something. But even though he grabbed me out of my car, put the gun in my head, and told me that, all I said was, "Officer, I haven't done anything to you." That's all I said. And he was kind of a heavy-set guy, and while he was holding me, he kind of ran out of breath and set me back down, and then turned his back to me with my gun still in the car and walked back to his car, which was kind of not very tactical on his part. He was a trooper. I don't think he's employed there anymore. I did call and file a complaint after it happened, but they never got back with me like they should have. But from my understanding, he's no longer employed there and hasn't been for a while. So I know how it is on both sides. But anyway, that's just my take on it. You let him get your gun out. If you have a gun, you comply. He comes back with your ticket or your warning or verbal warning, whatever he wants to do at that point. If you get a ticket, you fight it in court. Hopefully you got your recording device on you. That'd be your best option. It's pretty much that simple. All you gotta do is comply, cover yourself, CYA, and have a nice day. I know it feels. I know how it feels to be violated when you ain't doing nothing wrong, but nevertheless, like I said, you're kind of in a no-win situation if you want to fight somebody that's hard standing up and you're sitting down. You're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage. You just gotta be smarter than that. But anyhow, feel free to critique me. Tell me how you feel. Tell me, you can say whatever you want to say in the comments. It ain't gonna offend me any. And maybe you have something better that I never have thought of or don't know about. Just feel free to give me some advice. I'm always open for advice. So once again, this is Justice Law. I am Justice Hunter Elam, signing off for Law Dog Entertainment. Tune in next time. Peace.